listen to what the FDIC is saying out loud. And by the way, the Federal Reserve is not federal, and there is no reserve. This just in. The Federal Reserve is not federal, there is no reserve technically.
People understand they can use that one, but you don't want a huge look on the institution. But they have they're going to be.
This is Richard Warren, the top academic scholar in the world of central banking.
The nature of this TVDC, what is it you're going to look at? They didn't talk about that. But I had one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. And it was around this large and will be implanted under your skin.
EDC. If that happens, we're not how concerned are you about the collapse of the US dollars? It's the end of the dollar system. SVB and FTX, for that matter, are just two of several major players in the financial industry that go under. You noticing any of this?
Nature of money is going to change from all systems of trust and of
はい、皆さん、リワケやってきました。今、会場にいます。
Back to you, and we'll go to narrative just here. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. That's great, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They're
Miami.
together, and they now have other countries join. We're talking about Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Iran, Venezuela. They're all boarding the Earth's gold. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Why are these countries boarding the Earth's gold? What's happening?
こんな感じ。ちょっと今、後ろの席は少ないけど、今ね、グリーンさんが喋ってますね。ちょっと行ってきます。一緒に出ます。スカーレットさんです。はい。
world's populations. We're not talking about small numbers here, just in terms of population alone, the size of their economies, the amount of trade that they do for our country, how they impact our lives. So that what it really means when you
banks that are collapsing,
it's these mid-sized, small banks, mom and pop owned banks, they're almost a thing of the past. The mid-sized banks, you're starting to see them collapse.
皆さん来ますかね。多分ね。多分ね。はい。
We may move to where we have, 10 big banks. I'm talking about the Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank. That level. So they're too big to fail, meaning that the government is now going to have to join with the banking system to be able to run. Basically, everything that we're talking about, you run the wealth of this country. And that has not always been the case. And it's only been over the last 20 or 30 years that this has been starting to happen. And now we see it in the media where some of these banks are starting to collapse. Most people, maybe some in this room paid attention to what was happening in 2008. We're actually worse right now than what happened in 2008 sitting here today.
Now, General Flynn hopped on our show about 2.5 years ago. I remember he said, Clay, we may see an inflation rate that may hit as high as 5%, 6%, and the Rumble comments were savage. People were like, there is no way we're going to have inflation 5%, 6%, 7%, not 8%, not 9%. How many of you purchased gas, eggs, or anything this year? You notice that eggs are more, everything's more. Have you noticed this? Everything's more. So after building houses at shawhomes.com, in the past 48 months, not 48 years, past 48 months, how much have prices gone up? Again, Shaw Homes has been around for 30 years. But the past 48 months, how much have prices gone up? About 40%. Yeah. So 40%, the cost of a new home has gone up in Oklahoma. Okay. So, Sortini, you run a company called Beverly Hills Precious Metals. You've been in the precious metals industry for 30 plus years. Why would Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa all be hoarding the Earth's gold? Why is that happening?
They're all collaborating together to de-dollarize the entire globe. They want the dollar to no longer be the world's reserve currency. and they want to have their own central bank digital currency.
Okay, so let's roll all of this. So make sure I'm communicating effectively. So you see, America is trying to introduce a central bank digital currency, right? Central bank digital currency via executive order 14067. Simultaneously, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're introducing this BRICS currency, and it's a gold-backed, programmable central bank currency. And if you're taking notes, I encourage you to look it up. It's called the New Development Bank. It's based in Shanghai. General Flynn, any concerns that the BRICS Bank is based in Shanghai, sir?
I mean, people need to understand, the sort of bigger picture of all this, instead of getting down into the weeds of, the technical issues. The bigger issue is that there is a global alliance that's forming against the United States of America. And that global alliance, for the most part, is an economic alliance. And that economic alliance came together at the tail end of, let's just say 2014, 2015, when we, the United States of America, allowed the Chinese into the World Bank, because they weren't part of the World Bank, they didn't meet a certain set of conditions. Right? You have to meet a certain set of standards. So this global alliance, which has been going on for at least 10 years, actually a little bit longer, but at least 10 years now, is now strengthening. And we're beginning to see them coming together because they don't see the United States, because of what we're seeing, what we're feeling here in this country. When the United States doesn't lead, and we don't have leaders running out of the office, running this country, then we're gonna end up finding ourselves in second place. And they're gonna do it economically, and they're doing it economically. And that's what's happening right now.
Now, General Flynn, both Yuval Noah Harari, how do you know that name? Yuval Noah Harari. I need to do a better job of communicating who he is. This is the top advisor for Klaus Schwab. He's praised by Obama, Zuckerberg, Gates, MIT, Stanford, Harvard, 10 Talks. His name is Yuval Noah Harari.
Hey, make sure you guys, if you've ever heard of this guy Harari, thank you. I mean, please, pay attention to what's happening around the world. These are things that are going to affect our lives. These people, hey, don't listen to us. Go look at the World Economic Forum website. Listen to the speeches that these people give. I mean, the four of us have been talking about this for a couple of years. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple of years to get people to understand this is not us making this stuff up. This isn't a conspiracy theory, like the media would say. This is real. This is real, and it's about our lives. This is why we're up here fighting.
Now, Yuval Noah Harari keeps talking about how COVID makes surveillance go under the skin. So when you go to Rumble, everybody get on your phone, go to rumble.com. And by the way, subscribing to my podcast is a lot like subscribing to a mass mailer mixed with a fire hose, so I apologize. But it's just going to be constant contact coming into. But if you go to rumble.com, you search for Primetime Show, you can find our show. But once you go to rumble.com and search for Surveillance Under the Skin, then Surveillance Under the Skin. Okay, and then on the second tab, we're going to go to bh-pm.com. Let's close up. Let's do a search for bh-pm.com. I'm just going to share this with you, okay? So let's go back to Rumble. Surveillance Under the Skin. And find the shortest video you can find there, Devin, of Harari talking about this. Because I try to put this out so you can see he's talking about the surveillance under the skin. This is Yuval Noah Harari. And as you're searching for this, okay, on bh-pm.com, so then keep searching till you find like a 2-minute clip, okay, of surveillance under the skin, okay. As you're looking for that, on Beverly Hills Precious Metals, Sorchini, you have a history of inflation booklet. And if you've ever been to this book, if you're looking for a great way to take your name to the bottom, go to bh-pm.com and click on the, if you're having a great day, it's too great, I feel bad. Go to bh-pm.com, click on the history of inflation button, and when you go there, you can scroll down, so click on the history of inflation button, it's the second top, there you go, down there, click that, and we're going to scroll down, and I would like to ask you, Sorchini, how it's possible, go down the bottom, look at these inflation rates, because General Flynn took hell on Rumble for suggesting that the inflation may hit as high as 7%. Okay, look at this. Venezuela, the highest inflation rate was 65,000% after they became communist. Sorchini, is that higher than 7% in your mind, sir? It's a lot higher.
Let me just, Venezuela, when I was a young officer going into the United States Army, Venezuela was one of the top 10 economies in the world. They have energy reserves down there. They got a bunch of oil in the ground. They were an entity producing Exxon. Exxon lived all over Venezuela. Very, very, very wealthy country. Top 10 economy in the world. That's when I went into the army. So in my lifetime, that was back in the 80s, early 80s, actually late 70s, early 80s. So that's only 2013.
In 2008,
It's worse today.
in Zimbabwe, in 2008, the highest inflation rate was 79.6 billion%, which means that the price has doubled every 24.7 hours. Aaron, what's the highest you've seen the price of building a home go up in a 60-day period of time?
In a 60-day period,
Yeah.
probably $40,000.
How big would be a total price house? You say 40,000.
That'd be like a 2,500, 2,600 square foot house. Went up 40 grand, probably in 2 months.
So it went up from how much by 50?
It probably would have gone from like 350 to about 390.
So you're saying in 60 days, you saw the price of the new house go from 350 to 390?
Yeah,
Could you imagine if you doubled the price every 24.7 hours?
that would be crazy. I can imagine it, but it's a nightmare.
So again, just make sure we're understanding this is within the realm of reason if you're seeing an economy collapse. Okay, so let's play this clip here. Then let's play this clip here. Okay, this is you all know her already. God, nobody loves what they love. Obama, Zuckerberg, Gates. I don't love him. They love him. He's the author of a book called Homo Deus, which is turning humans into gods. Hit play. Back it up a little bit. Back it up. Doing the flow all the way. Keep going. Back it up. Back it up a little more. Back it up. Doing the flow. Back it up a little more. Back it up a little more. Back it up a little more. I'm only want to know what area under our skin.
I knew these vaccines were not going to protect against infection.
COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization. It legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
Ross, play again. Play again. Just what's disturbing the second time? Play again.
Talking about COVID.
Infection.
COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization. It legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
Ross, Sortini, I want to get your thoughts on this. Gold. If I don't want to put my currency under my skin, why is gold a valid option, sir?
Because when they put the chip under your skin, what you're doing is you're opening up any purchases that you want to make to approval by somebody higher up, possibly the government. Like anything that you want to purchase could actually be declined. It's part of the centralized banking system. If you want to own assets out of the centralized banking system, the best way that I know of to do that is to invest in gold and silver.
Now, for anybody who's thought I've lost my mind, I want to encourage you. 4 examples you can look up today. Write them down, okay? Walletmore is a company, a World Economic Forum company that puts a chip under your skin to make it easier to check out. It's Walletmore. Panera, how many of you seen Panera? They're rolling out this idea of checking out with your palm. Amazon Palm, have you seen this? Have you seen this? So these are examples. If you go to timetofreeamerica.com, you have an entire button if you click here called CBDC, so timetofreeamerica.com. It shows you all the video clips, all the patents, all the technology. And if you say, I don't want to go to that website, I just want to read the book of Revelation, you can do that too. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, through 18. That'll give you a brief summary there. Okay.
Now, I mean, I'm all for innovation and the kinds of things that we can do, but when it comes to what you do, what we do to protect our freedoms, that crosses the line for me. And so we're not up here, again, making stuff up, and we get accused of so many things. My word to you is that we're trying to educate. I mean, like I said at the beginning, today, early this morning, for the people that were here earlier, this is a master's degree that you're getting in 2 days on what's happening around you, around each of us, around this country. And so we have to learn from it, study it, critically think about it, and then get out there into your communities and your families and your churches and start talking about this stuff so people understand this. There's a lot of people out there that don't know. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Aaron Andrews, final 30 seconds from you, I'll go to Sortini. Why would Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Venezuela, Turkey, all the countries of BRICS, Why would they be hoarding the Earth's gold before introducing a gold-backed programmable central bank digital currency based in Shanghai, sir?
Well, because they already knew what they were getting ready to deploy, and so they wanted to get out in front of it before anybody else knew to get out in front of it. And the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So every evil in this world has its root from the love of money. And that's how they're going to control and manipulate, is through that love that people have for money. So if you want to break free from that, there are ways to break free.
So Sortini, in 1971, Richard Nixon moved us off the gold standard. 1971, Richard Nixon moved us off the gold standard per the recommendation of Henry Kissinger in 1971. In 1971, Klaus Schwab started the World Economic Forum per the recommendation of Henry Kissinger. Yes, in 1971, America began sacrificing babies to Baal. Interesting. That's abortion. In 1971, John Lennon wrote a song called Imagine and prophesied COVID-19. Interesting. In 1971, the Pope completed an audience hall in the shape of a snake head. Interesting. Interesting design. So all that aside, 1971, the price of an ounce of gold is $44-ish per ounce. What's it today, sir?
2018.
2018 an ounce. So, Sortini, if people want to meet you, talk to you, consult with you, how do they get hold of you, sir?
Go to ph-pm.com. On the page, there's a form that you can fill out. Put in your name, telephone number, email address, and a couple sentences about what it is that you're wanting to learn more about or accomplish. We'll get back with you in about 24 hours, sometimes maybe 48 hours. But that would be the best.
And I harassed you. I said, is there any way the General Flynn commemorative coin?
Absolutely.
And I harassed you about it every day, I think, for several consecutive months, and then once. Tell us about that briefly, sir.
The General Flynn 2-ounce silver coin is the most successful issue that we've ever done. Thank you for everybody that's invested in it. It's a non-reportable asset. You're supporting a true patriot, my friend General Flynn, and we're going to keep coming out with them every year. They're going to have a new date on that. They'll have collector value added to the silver value.
And my understanding is there's a limited time offer. If you do a Clay Clark member coin, you'll pay people to take them.
I will.
The sales will be really low. Okay, but seriously, so I just want to give you guys some solutions today. But seriously, you need to know that Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're all introducing a gold-backed programmable digital, a central bank programmable digital currency, gold-backed, at the same time that the U.S. banks are collapsing. We need to understand that, to be smart. So no matter what decision you decide to make, I would encourage you to take action and schedule at least 2 consultations, my recommendation, with some precious metals companies so you can compare and contrast. General Flynn, final words, sir. Any thoughts?
We just want to say thanks, everybody. I mean, for paying attention. This is a really important discussion we're having. We do this every Tuesday. We do this on Ray's podcast every single Tuesday, and it gets put out. So if you are not paying attention yet, pay attention to it. You don't have to watch it all the time, but periodically pick up on it, because this is going to change the way we live. And I don't like it one bit.
If you're having too good of a day and you want to get depressed, watch my podcast. It's called Rock Show every Tuesday. What's going on? Let's go American General. Thank you so much. Pastor Greg Locke coming up next year. Followed by Dr. Stella Emanuel. Followed by a Q&A with Cash Patel, David Nunez, and General Flynn. You're not going to ever have this kind of event, and we haven't had one so far, where you can ask questions. There's no teleprompter, no sponsors, there's no bad questions, nothing out of bounds. If you want to ask those questions, okay, you kind of get in line. You get in line right here, starting at 20 minutes. You get in line right here, and we're going to try to go through that with no statement questions. You know what I mean? No questions where it's a statement and with a question at the end. You know what I mean? None of that. Just if you have questions for General Flynn, Cash Patel, David Nunez. We're going to try to get to about 40 questions in about 40 minutes. So it's going to be rapid fire. Any question at all you want to ask there. And then we're going to have Eric Trump to conclude as our keynote tonight. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you wish you had a pastor that would have knocked the picture over to the wall? Because he believes in Hebrews 10:25, the entirety of the earth is the word of God, was the Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, stand your feet. Every pastor, Greg Locke. believe God's going to do something, ladies and gentlemen. It's no time to capitulate. It's no time to compromise. I want you to shout the walls there right now. Jesus, just give the Lord 10 seconds. With the word, amen. Say amen. You will be seated, but the question is, how do we get there? God says in the last days, I'll pour out my spirit upon all flesh. How do you know that God is doing something right now in this nation? He just seems to be coming in the back door while he's doing it. Everywhere I go, people are like, oh goodness, what are we going to do about communism? What are we going to do about socialism?